Oh, hi everybody. I'm Chuck Henson. I've got breaking news.
He's here all night, folks.
I'm here as an eyewitness to the fashionista mob that was streaming into the Mahaffey Theater on Saturday night. Why? Well, it was the annual Equality Florida Pinellas County Gala, and it was amazing. I was honored to be the host of that event once again. The bling was blazing, the fashion outstanding, and the friendships better than ever before. Take a look. But wait, there's a lot more to this story. It was also a night to honor some very special heroes that are fulfilling the mission of Equality Florida. People that make this state safe for all to live in, no matter your sexual orientation, your gender identity, or expression. The recipient of this year's Voice of Equality Award goes to Florida State Representative Michelle Rayner Goolsby.
And I want to leave you with this. Y'all, I understand that it is seemingly dark in Florida. I understand that, and I talked about this on the House floor, I understand that it is, feels like it's a little bit of midnight. You really can't see which way to go. We have folks who are leaving the state because they no longer feel safe to be here, and I get that. And I understand deeply because I see it happening in real time. But I want to just leave you with this little bit of hope. The beautiful part about midnight is that that means a new day is coming. I don't think I have a quiet church in here. The beautiful part about midnight means a new day is coming. That means a day that we're all accepted for who we are. A day that we're all accepted for who we love, how we show up in every iteration. So I understand that the powers that be and the white supremacist and the little man that's in the governor's mansion, he got to do what he got to do. Preach up. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead. Thank you. That's my pastor that said that. I understand that has to happen, because if that doesn't happen, we can't get the new day. And so I'm going to leave you with this word. I'm going to take my seat. Be very clear, while we are in midnight, a new day is coming, and that day is liberation for all of us. That day is liberation for the cisgender body. It is liberation for the trans body. It is liberation for the woman body. It is liberation for the non-binary body. It is liberation for the lesbian. It is liberation for the gay. It is liberation for the straight, black, white, queer. Liberation, and a new day is coming.
The recipient of the Edie Windsor Lifetime Achievement Award for 2023 goes to Marge Sherman.
I hope that I can continue to live up to the award's mission to make contributions to end the vitriol that is aimed at our community at this time. I would be remiss not to extend a very special thank you to all of the St. Pete Gala Committee. Truly extraordinary and amazing. This evening, I don't even think that I recognize it until this moment, that this evening represents a year's worth of dedication from many, many people. No committee can function well without a fantastic, outstanding leadership.
You know, the entire evening and why we were even there was brought into laser focus by the remarks made by Executive Director Nadine Smith.
We are changing demographically. There is there's a collision between the graying of America and the browning of America. We are emerging as a multiracial, diverse, and inclusive country. And for those of us in this room, that's the America we want. That's the America we've been building, right? But there are other people who see that America emerging, and there are politicians who are willing to stoke fear about what that means. And instead of being strengthened by our differences, they see it as an opportunity to have us fearful of those differences. Their message is, take America backwards. Make America great again. Make America different from the place that we are in now. And history tells us that this happens every time we make progress.
Teach us.
Every single time we experience this backlash. And it is often violent, and it always comes at a heavy, heavy price. And so it is not a coincidence that we are seeing this relentless attack on LGBT rights, this legislatively dictated whitewashing of American history in our schools. It is not an accident that we're seeing book bans, that we are seeing censorship, the dismantling of academic freedom. It is not an accident that we are seeing the criminalization of health care, from abortion to gender-affirming care for youth and adults. It is not coincidental that we are seeing voter suppression, because young people showed up in such number that the red wave that was supposed to sweep the nation never materialized. They're trying to change the rules. They want to raise the age to vote to 21, even as they lower the age to buy an AR-15 to 18, right? And they want to change the rules so that you have to vote in person the first time. You can't vote by mail the first time. And that is directly aimed at discouraging young people from voting. When Floridians went to the polls and said, you know, people who've served their time, paid their debt, returned to society, they ought to be able to vote in full. An overwhelming majority of Floridians went to the polls and said, yeah, that's how it should be. That's what fairness dictates. Right. And this governor and this legislative majority have done everything in their power, including creating a police force that is intended to intimidate not people breaking the law. They arrested a whole bunch of people they had to drop charges on, but not before they destroyed their lives and sent a message that was intended to chill people from accessing their right to vote. They are fearful of that future, and they will do everything in their power to curtail it, including passing draconian anti-protest laws. And we're seeing that all across Florida. So as an organization, we know that we can't simply stand up for LGBT rights and ignore the racism at the heart of what is happening.
Come on now.
They came after trans young people 2 years ago because they understood that this was a tiny demographic with very little political power, and that they could project anything they wanted, and most people would be uninformed, and other people would be eager to vilify and demonize. And on the backs of those young people in Florida, they sharpened their sword. And when they came back the next year, the bills they sought were the Don't Say Gay, Don't Say Trans bill, was the bill, the Stop Woke Act, intended to stop the honest telling of racial history in America. And as a consequence of the passage of those two laws, there are bookshelves empty in classrooms. The life and times of Rosa Parks removed from bookshelves. Laws that pass that will allow anyone, not even if you don't even have to have a child in the schools, you don't even have to be a resident of the state of Florida, to call and demand a book be taken off the shelf in the state of Florida. We have seen this before. Hold on to that hope. Hold on to the reality that hope is based in what we have seen time and time again. Hold on to the understanding that when you see any part of the community attacked, those people are sharpening their sword to come for you. And that we must link arms in these dangerous times. And when I see this room filled with so many people who, when we say the front line is Florida, all of you said we are soldiers reporting for duty, and I appreciate and love you for that.
now it's down to business. The big call for action was made from the stage for all Equality Florida members to open their hearts and open their checkbooks and make some very, very big donations. And it was amazing to watch that happen as major big money contributions happened in real time right there as we all witnessed.
So is there anyone in the room tonight who would be willing to pledge $10,000 to our fight for equality?
Who is it? Paul Adams, thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul. All right. We have another one. Yes.
All right, I know you're all wondering about the big news. How much was raised that night? Well, according to Equality Florida Development Director Todd Richardson, he tells me that over $700,000 was raised that evening here in the Mahaffey Theater of the 675 guests that were in attendance. On behalf of Equality Florida, thank you again for being part of this amazing organization and fighting for equality in our state. We've got one more thing left to do, and that's shake your booty.